The ocean, it covers more than 70% of our planet's surface, yet over 80% of it remains unexplored, unmapped, and unseen by human eyes. It is a world of crushing pressure, freezing temperatures, and eternal darkness. Down here, thousands of meters below the surface, the rules of life are rewritten. Sunlight, the energy source that powers almost all life on Earth, cannot penetrate this deep. Life must find another way. Through chemical reactions, through scavenging what falls from above, or through hunting in the dark.
But in 2024, during a routine geological survey in the Pacific, a team of oceanographers stumbled upon something that didn't just rewrite the rules. It tore the rule book apart. They found an organism living in absolute darkness that appeared to be powered by light. At first, they dismissed it as an error, a glitch in the camera, a reflection, anything but the impossible truth. But what the camera had actually captured was stranger than anything they could have imagined. This was the mission of Triton 7, a remotely operated vehicle designed to withstand pressures that would crush a military submarine in an instant. Its primary goal was to map a newly discovered volcanic ridge, a place where the Earth's crust is thin and the planet's inner heat bleeds into the ocean. At 3,800 meters down, the world is alien. The pressure is over 380 times greater than at the surface. The team, operating miles above, are the vehicle's eyes and hands. Every move is precise. Every second of battery life precious. Their mission was clear. Stick to the survey grid. But then, Triton 7's sensitive light sensors picked up a faint, rhythmic pulse from an uncharted area. It wasn't the fiery glow of a volcanic vent, and it wasn't the flash of any known bioluminescent creature. They broke protocol. The potential discovery was too important. As Triton 7's thrusters guided it over a rocky outcrop, the source of the light came into view. It was a field of ghostly sea anemones, what looked like pale, each one gently glowing with a soft, internal light. The leading hypothesis is a process they've tentatively named chemophotosynthesis. The anemone absorbs energy-rich chemicals from the volcanic vents around it. It then uses that chemical energy to create its own internal light. This light, in turn, is used by its photosynthetic structures to create a stable, long-term food supply. It had evolved its own personal sun. Its ability to create energy from nothing but chemicals and darkness was revolutionary, a discovery worthy of a Nobel Prize. But that wasn't the most unsettling behavior it displayed. The scientific community is built on skepticism. Every extraordinary claim requires extraordinary evidence, and the stellar anemone was the most extraordinary claim in a century. The first challenge: could it just be a new, complex form of bioluminescence? Bioluminescence is common in the deep sea, but it's a chemical flashbang, a tool for hunting or defense. It consumes energy. It doesn't create it. The stellar anemone was doing the exact opposite. This was something new. The next theory: symbiosis. Perhaps the anemone was merely the host for a type of glowing bacteria, and together they formed a partnership. But genetic analysis of the samples showed no foreign DNA. The light-producing mechanism was part of the anemone itself. It was entirely self-sufficient, with every known explanation eliminated. The research team was left with one incredible truth. This thing wasn't just surviving in one of the most hostile environments on Earth. It was thriving. And, as Triton 7 would soon discover, it was not alone. This is the moment that changed everything. This wasn't a small cluster of organisms. It was a metropolis, stretching for what looked like miles across the abyssal plain. Was a biological city, pulsing with a soft, internal light. But the most shocking discovery wasn't its size, it was its behavior. They weren't just glowing, they were communicating. The individual anemones were acting as a single, coordinated system. A wave of light would start on one end of the colony and travel perfectly to the other. The patterns they formed were complex, geometric, and clearly non-random. It was as if millions of tiny lanterns were being switched on and off by a single, invisible hand. The team recorded hours of this silent, light-based conversation when analysts back on land ran the sequences through advanced decryption software. They found something that made the hair on their arms stand up. The patterns weren't just patterns. They contained hallmarks of a language, specifically a mathematical one. Repetition, syntax, and a level of complexity that should not be possible.
The question was no longer how they lived. It was what were they trying to say?
The discovery of the Solaris field, as it was named, sparked a global scientific race. If one such colony existed, were there others? The search was on, but it was harder than anyone imagined. For years, they found nothing. It seemed the first colony was a complete fluke. They eventually realized the colonies only form under a unique set of conditions, near specific geological formations that provide the exact chemical cocktail they need for their internal suns. After 3 years of searching, a French team finally found a second, smaller colony in the Atlantic. They sent down their most advanced ROV, the Ariane, to get closer than ever before. The mission plan was to take a sample from the very edge of the colony. But as the robotic arm extended, something happened. The entire light pattern of the colony changed instantly. The soft glow stopped. Every single anemone flashed to full brightness, all at the same time aimed directly at the ROV. The screen went white with digital noise. The entire colony reacted. The light shifted from a calm, pulsing pattern to a single, blinding flash. It overloaded the ROV's optical sensors, disabling its camera for a full 10 seconds. When the feed returned, the colony was back to its gentle, rhythmic pulsing, as if nothing had happened. It wasn't an attack. It was a warning shot. The coordinated flash confirmed what some scientists had begun to suspect. This led Dr. Reese Thorne to propose a hypothesis that sounds like it's straight out of science fiction. His theory? We are not looking at a colony of millions of individual creatures. We are looking at one single entity. He called it the superorganism hypothesis. Each anemone, he argues, is not an individual life form, but a single neuron. Together, connected by light, they form a decentralized consciousness living in the dark, thinking with light. Planetary scale brain. It doesn't have a central nervous system. The entire colony is the nervous system. We see this concept on a smaller scale in ant colonies and beehives, where the Group accomplishes things no single member ever could. But this is on a scale that dwarfs anything on land. If it is a single, thinking entity spread across the ocean floor, is it aware that we're watching? And what happens if we finally understand what it's saying? The journey to the bottom of the ocean began with a search for geological data. It ended with a discovery that challenges our most fundamental understanding of life and intelligence. The stellar anemone, the animal that shouldn't exist, proves that life is more resilient, more creative, and far stranger than we ever knew. It leaves us with a profound and humbling question. We have spent decades looking to the stars for intelligent life. What if it's been waiting for us here all along, hidden beneath the waves? Thinking in a language of light and time that we are only just beginning to see. The ocean hides secrets we are only now starting to unravel. The story of the stellar anemone is not an ending, it is a beginning.
What do you think is happening down there in the abyss? Let us know your theories in the comments. If mysteries like this fascinate you, we explore them every week, so consider subscribing to join our next expedition into the unknown. Coming up next, we investigate the one place on Earth where gravity seems to work differently. It's a phenomenon that has baffled physicists for decades. You won't want to miss it. Thank you for watching.